Hey there, I'm Cait Sarazin. I'm a trauma-informed somatic coach, and today I'm going to talk about a few techniques to help ground yourself while dissociating. And I want to first start with, because I feel like dissociation gets a really bad rap. Um, Dissociation is a beautiful way our bodies try to take care of us and protect us. They take us out of the situation because the situation is too much. And I think that there are times when dissociating makes a lot of sense. If you can't leave, if you can't fight, if it's just too intense to actually be there. And so the first question that I would invite you to ask is like, do I have the skills and the capacity right now to cope with what's happening? Or does dissociating make a lot of sense based on this situation? And just remembering that like it's a valid option as anything else. Now, if you have a little more space and time and see that like I think I can be here a little more now, the first thing I would suggest to do is to just invite a little bit of movement. And that can be just inviting yourself to push, just really gently, pushing until you hit a natural edge or a stopping point, and just noticing what's it feel like to be here. You might start to feel some tingling. You might start to get hot. You might start to feel angry. You can also do it this way. You can do this with your feet. You can do this with this. Squeezing. Just see which feels good. And it's also important to do this, to go into this, and then just see what it's like to come back to neutral. So we squeeze, and then we come back to neutral. Or push a little bit, right up to that edge, and just come back. Push a little bit, and just come back. If it feels a little bit more extreme, you can invite a bigger movement. Exercise can be really effective. If you're feeling a little bit more in the now, you might want to try just noticing what it's like to be in your space in this moment. And you might look around in your space, noticing, I'm just looking for something that feels pleasing, grounding, safe, or even just neutral, if that feels more accessible. And you might want to notice if there's something that is something you see, something you hear. You can probably hear my wind chimes. Something you smell. It can be the quality of the air. It can be your clothing on you. It could be something you touch, the table in front of you. It can be the feeling of your seat, the feeling of your back and your butt against the chair, your feet on the ground. And we're just scanning to see right in this moment which one feels the most pleasing, grounding, or just neutral. And once you have one, just allowing yourself to really enjoy it. Be there. See if you can drop into it a little bit more and really just kind of focus yourself on that. And just notice what happens as you're there. Notice if a sensation comes up. Notice if an emotion comes up. Quite often, dissociation is, even though it can feel like a very inactive state, a very like slumped over state, it's kind of like a blanket holding down a whole lot of energy underneath it. And so when we come out of that, a lot of energy can come back up. It can be a lot of anger, sadness, a lot of emotions, a lot of charge. And so we want to be careful as we're coming back out that we don't get overwhelmed by that. So if that's coming up and is feeling really overwhelmed, you might want to just focus on one spot in your body if that's accessible, or somewhere in your environment, just to kind of narrow in that release, that discharge, that coming back into the here and now, to make it a little bit more manageable, just to make it a little bit more easy for us. We don't want to work too hard. If this was helpful, feel free to like and subscribe. If you are looking to work on bigger patterns of dissociation, that can be a really great thing to work on with a somatic experiencing practitioner. And if you're interested in doing that, I do offer one-on-one sessions. You can learn more about that on my website, soloandkicking.com. Thanks for being here, and I hope to see you soon.